My name is Dmitry Lipinski. I've seen my YouTube videos on the Roofing Insights channel. Also, finally, just a couple days ago, started my marketing agency, but I'm not here to sell anybody anything, all right? I'm gonna share my passion, what I'm passionate about, and more importantly, why I do what I do and how it can benefit you. Like I'll share after 40 minutes, hopefully I'll go within 30 and ask you questions. But I want to share what I do and why I do what I do today, right? So, who knows inbound versus outbound marketing? So there's two major schools out there. And when biggest companies in the country right now, companies like Power, have $1 billion company now. All the major companies, they really dominate both inbound and outbound. Outbound will be your canvassing. It's when you go chase your customer. That's all your door knocking, cold calling, mailers. That's all outbound, when you literally drop something on them. Inbound marketing, it's when you make people call you. Wherever you do out there to generate phone call, that's inbound marketing. I'm a hardcore inbound marketer from the day one. Because of my personality, I just hate selling. If you want to buy from me, you have to come to me. I have to be superior in everything I do. I have to have superior service. I have to be trusted. You have to know me before I know you. This is how I love to sell. And let me tell you, for me, in my world, this is the best. Now, I work with a 10, 12, $15 million companies now who come to me for advice because they have 10 times more clients, but they don't have results yet. Like a couple months ago, I have a conversation with a guy, and he runs about $12 million shop. And he's like, Dmitry, how in the world you have almost 1,000 reviews online and you have 3,000, 4,000 clients? And I have 15,000, 20, like 15 to 20,000 range. He doesn't know because when he switched to CRM, he has a lot of older clients, and we have like 500. How do you beat me? And he said this. He said, in my market, I'm losing to my competitors, like biggest competitors in town, kicking my ass because I do canvassing mostly, and they dominate me online and canvassing. If you want to win in 2019, 19 and on, you have to learn how to do inbound. You have to learn people to find you. So I want to ask you, how many here rely, how many percent of door knocking other outbound leads? Raise your hands. We're more than 60-70% of your business. Raise your hands. How many really rely? How many rely on inbound? How many of you are retail companies? It's about 50-50. By the way, I want you to go and applaud yourself today, because we're in Vegas, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and you're either hungry or desperate to be here. But this is amazing. This is very impressive. So this is just a few days before we came here. This is my roofing company. We have 5 sales guys. We did about $4 million last year. Every year since I opened 5 years ago, and by the way, when I opened my business, didn't know nothing about roofing. We grew 30-40% every year. So we're in Minneapolis. So we have freaking tons of snow, and this is my results. 226, 227. At the end of every day, my receptionist sends me this picture, how many appointments they schedule. I don't care about opportunities. We have way more, probably triple or quadruple this amount, how many inquiries we're getting. This is actually appointments. So on the left, we have 11 appointments. On the right, we have 8. So this is my real results. This is what's happening in my business today. And I've been teaching, sharing the stuff on YouTube. I'll go in and I'll review, like you can see here, Porch, you can see Angels List, you can see Thumbtack, you can see Google. By the way, Google never paid pay-per-click this year yet. I don't do pay-per-click advertising. I know how to do it. I can turn it off when I need it. All of Google appointments you see, it's people found my website and they called us, and this is actually appointment. So you can see, ice dam, roof leak, attic inspection, $49 means they paid me $49 to inspect their attic. Who would like to run that appointment, right? So you have roof inspection, siding, soffit and fascia, you have chimney exhaust leak, you have gutter estimate, you have ice dam removal, you have siding estimate. Wherever I can to keep my guys busy. At winter time, even in Minnesota, I'll be honest with you, we're losing money. I'm still in red. but I don't close my doors. I have 5 sales guys, I don't let anybody go. This is what will happen to you. When you have good leads on every given day and you control it, and the reason I run it like this, because when I get this report, let's say we schedule only 2 appointments. This is red flag for me. What's gonna happen to my business 2 weeks from now if I'm gonna be scheduling 2-3 appointments a day? I'm probably gonna start losing my sales guys. As a business owner, you need to know and control every single lead that comes to you. You know where people are coming from, and you know how many coming to you. Because I see a lot of businesses going out of business because you have 2 weeks without this, you don't have a business. Your sales guy is gonna quit and gonna go work for somebody else. As a matter of fact, I've seen it way too many times. I have a friend in Colorado who has the worst year. He's been in business 6 years, about to freaking close his doors. Storm hit, he lost 3 sales guys the next day. I don't know why, maybe commission he was paying them were still low, I don't know. But 3 people walked away. Who will walk away from me when I give them 2-3 appointments every day? If you treat them well, if you give them appointments, now you have leverage. Let's go to next. So, inbound leads is customers come to you through search engines, referrals, social media, trusted networks. Outbound, it's your door knocking, cold calls, buying leads from questionable sources. Whoever you're using out there, whoever is providing you leads, ask them questions like, what are you doing to generate leads for me? You need to know if it's outbound or if it's inbound. And no disrespect for companies even here, like I respect those guys like Latif, and there's so many guys who do cold calling for us, right, selling us leads. They're all good guys. And I keep trying that. I freaking hate results. I hate results. Because when we go to those appointments, you know why? Because I don't want nobody freaking cold calling me. I don't want nobody door knocking at my house. If I don't like it, why do I do it for my business? Now, I will use it. I will try to do the best out of it, but ask where it's coming from. You know, if you want to buy leads from somebody, if it's home advisor, it doesn't matter. Ask it if it's inbound or outbound. Because there's marketers out there who will sell you leads, but what they do, they'll build maybe landing page or whatever they're doing, they attract people to them, and now it's different because it came from search. So inbound, yeah, search engines, referrals, trusted platform. Now, trusted platforms, that's not what you think is trusted platform. That's what consumers think trusted platform is. I know in this industry, everybody hates BBB. You know what? I hate BBB too. But if 90% of my customers trust BBB, I freaking better be on BBB. You might hate Home Advisor. I hate Home Advisor. But if you live in a town where 10,000 people live and 7,000 of them on Home Advisor making decisions, choosing contractors, why you don't have profile there yet? You know what I mean? I mean, it might work for you, it might not work for me, but at least give it a try. If people like Home Advisor in your town, you have to be there. It's not what you think, it's what they think. So inbound marketing. Inbound marketing seeks to educate or entertain, and inbound marketing always provides value. Outbound marketing rarely provides value and rarely seeks to educate or entertain. Let me explain. When you go after them, how much value can you provide? Like, door knockers know, when you knock at their doors, I mean, your window to entertain, your window to educate is so little. It's all about just get their attention. Just like, oh, you don't want an inspection? Okay, I'll be right back. It's like you literally have a couple seconds to engage, to get on the roof and come back and do the trick. But you're not there to entertain. You're not there to provide value. You're there to sell. Wherever you're doing, when you create, radio ads, like when you after them, it's really hard to provide value. Value, it's in inbound marketing. When you write an article, when you want to educate them, when you share something, like one of the biggest things I'm talking right now in my marketing agency is like, what we write, for example, on our website. It's crazy to me that business owners would not write a blog, how much does the roof cost? Because we hate it. We hate to expose ourselves, right? We would not go and say, like, how much does the roof cost? But guess what? What's going to be one of the biggest searches from the homeowners? How much does the roof cost? Freaking go and write a blog tomorrow how much the roofs cost in your town. People looking for that information. You don't have to tell them it's $10,000 or $12,000, but educate them what goes in the cost of the roof. You know, 2-story house will add this amount. You know what remodeling magazine says the average cost for roofing in the country, and then go to your market and so on. Educate them. Don't be afraid to tell them to create something what they're already looking for. This is how I do business. I literally go about 4 weeks ago, I did a video, and very simple 7-8 minute video. Can you install a roof in the wintertime? Why? Because that's what people are looking for. They never boosted, never promoted, did anything to the video. Just put it on the website, did a blog, put a YouTube video in my blog. I have like 2,500 views right now, like over 2,000, I don't know. 2,000 people would watch, and average view duration 6-7 minutes. Why? Because I start with a search. I start with a demand. What are they looking for? I'm in the winter time in Minnesota. I cannot even sell them a roof right now. Guess what? I'm gonna go and create a content like, can you actually do a roof right now? And now I see comments, I see people calling us, and so on. Start creating content what they're looking for, not what you want to put out there. Inbound marketing powered by creativity, talent, and great ideas. Outbound powered by budget and repetition. Think about Facebook. You have two options right now on the Facebook. You can go and create ads and you can dump money in it, or you can go create something for people to share, to like, and to talk about you. What you gonna do? In here, that's what big companies do. Big companies with the big budgets, they're gonna crush you, right? Because they can come, it's budget and repetition. But guess what? It's not organic. We're freaking gonna go through, keep screwing. Here's the deal. Lowe's. I learned it from the guy who runs YouTube channel for Lowe's. So Lowe's created 1-minute video, tricks about tape measure, right? So tape measure, really good shots, really clean video, 1 minute. All the tricks with the tape measure, great. 4 years later, 40,000 views. And there's one video on YouTube, guy in his garage, camera in front of him, 6-minute video, almost identical content. How to use a tape measure. And he goes for 6-7 minutes. Bad lighting, one shot. That video has like 600,000-700,000 views. Why? One, YouTube just cares not only how many views, but how long people watch your video. So people, especially in my groups, like I have guys here, like one of the most comment I get that my videos are too long. The golden time right now on YouTube, 7 to 11 minutes. The longer people watch your stuff, the more likely they're gonna buy from you, but also more likely almost any algorithm out there will promote and serve you a video in recommendation. For example, you go with a 10-minute video, if people actually watch, like I have a video right now on YouTube, James Hardy versus LP SmartSide. One of the first videos I've done. Horrible quality, horrible sound, but content is there. On average, I've been getting about 100 views a day from all over the country. Average view duration about 7 minutes, and now I think it's like 40,000 views. And 60% of the traffic was coming from YouTube. So when you come up with a creativity, talent, and great idea, you see something that nobody ever talked about. I did it the same in shingles. So like I start comparing shingles. Nobody ever done it. That's how I freaking made my name. I mean, I made my name, okay? Everybody knows what happened to me, but I've done something that nobody ever even attempted. And there's brands I cannot talk right now. I mean, I have lawyers calling me, not only from one brand, from many brands. You cannot put it out there. Why not? You did not submit it with our marketing department. Excuse me, I'm not extension of your freaking marketing department. I'm a roofer, and this is my YouTube channel. My potential customers wants to see it, and I'm making freaking content. Guess what? YouTube will take that video and gonna serve it to more people. So my James Hardy video, 60% of the traffic was served to my, to pretty much, you can go on YouTube and you see what people have seen prior to see your video. So I did like LP SmartSide versus James Hardy versus something else. And top video people watched before this one, it actually was LP Smart Site commercial. And then I started going deep in analytics. I got like Vice President of James Hardy flew to my office, spent 3 hours with me. It's like, Dimitri, we're losing to LP in your freaking market. Can you please like explain why? I freaking wrote everything down to him. Then they invited me headquarters in Chicago, went there. Like I was pitching them a few things and we're still working on something. And I showed them, guys, look, here's the video I did, $200 budget. Right? In 1 year, we have 40,000 views, but look how many comments I have, how many engagement. And this is your video. How much did it cost you? $20,000? How many likes do you have? How many views do you have? They wouldn't even share. That's the difference between outbound and inbound. You can spend $10,000 in a video and annoy the hell out of it, or you can spend $200 on a cool idea, and Facebook, YouTube, freaking everybody in the world will be sharing and keep sending you clients. That's how awesome it is to be inbound marketer. Outbound always tries to take credit for demand. Inbound treats demand as a bonus. So let me explain this one. A couple of years ago, one of the companies I own called Ice Dam Liquidators. We remove ice dams. Again, I'm freaking in Minnesota in the wintertime, I just have to survive. It's survival mode. So about 4 years ago, if you remember Boston, I don't know if anybody here from that area, has like 100 inches of snow, right? So I came to my guys and said, guys, who would travel with me to Boston? We went there for 9 days with the 4 guys. We did $50,000 in sales. 50K, labor only, okay? When I left, and this is my story, this is how crazy I am. I'm just gonna share it. Before I share that story, before I share that, I'll share you one conversation I have with somebody. His name is Laney Scarola. He's a big guy up north, love Laney. And he is big in canvassing, big company. I asked him, why do you do canvassing? Why do you door knocking? And he said, Misha, if I would lose everything today, like all employees, all business, everything, all my customers, I would go and start door knocking and I would build it all back up, like tomorrow, right? And I got the point, but then it got me thinking, this is exactly why I don't do door knock. Because if I would lose everything today, I would go and create something and I would make my phone ring like crazy within 2-3 days. And I've done it so many times in my life. 7 years ago, builder quit, filed bankruptcy. And that's how I started doing, start my own thing. And I knew I'm going to do floors because that's the best trade. That's the best thing I was doing at the moment. But I knew it'll take me time to, well, I didn't give myself enough credit back then. I thought it would take me a long time to build my clientele. So on Saturdays, I decided to cut grass. I have about an acre of land. Was living in Atlanta at the time. I was cutting grass at my house, and I'm like, I can do it for other people. Did quick research. Average cut was like 50, 60 bucks. So just with the ads on Craigslist, in 10 days, I have 10 clients for entire summer. I was making $500-600 bucks every single Saturday. When Gmail created like cutmygrass@gmail.com, build a website, literally overnight, one-page website, have a banner on a trailer, boom. Every Saturday, $500-600 bucks. I retired that company 3 months in because I have way more customers in my roofing business. And I couldn't even justify. I was making $500-600 bucks a day installing floors, and I said I don't need to cut grass anymore. For me, I know where demand is and how to find it fast. But here's the deal: inbound, outbound marketing always takes credit for demand. So here's what's happening: storm gonna hit, demand is gonna be there. You're gonna call somebody, hey, I need some leads. They're gonna get you some leads. But if you're here, and they're gonna take credit, but what are they really taking credit for? They're taking credit for demand. You've seen those pictures, right? In the beginning. That's where it matters. When somebody can give you leads in the slowest time, when storm did not happen, that's freaking good and impressive. When somebody gives you leads next day after the storm, they freaking suck. They should not even be getting credit for that. So here's my story. 4 years ago, it's winter time. We're freaking dead. I'm sorry, I'm a very emotional person. I cry a lot when I talk about it. So I have like less than $500 in my account, and I have like 6, 7 people on my payroll. I've never removed one ice dam, but that year I decided to be an ice dam removal business. So I invested like $17,000 already. Like I would say October, November, 17 grand. I bought 3 steamers, and I built a website. The website cost me like 6 grand. That's where I really like, you know, if I do something, it has to be like to the teeth. So I put all this money. I'm like 25,000 in. Winter came, and freaking in Minnesota that year, no snow. Period. Like freaking nothing. Right? So I'm desperate. I'm running on fumes. And I put ice dam machine on Craigslist. This is true story. So I put it on Craigslist just to get like 4K out of it. Few people call. I paid like $5,500 per machine. I'm selling a brand new machine for 4 grand. Still cannot sell. This guy called me from Boston. Dimitri, I've seen your ad on the Craigslist. I want to buy it from you, but I live in Boston. So I look up where Boston is, like 20-hour drive. Like I don't mind driving there to get it because nobody sells it here. And I'm like, really? And it was Wednesday when I got that call. And then I jump on Craigslist, Boston Craigslist, every other ad was ice dam removal. Every other ad. So I look at Google Analytics. That month we have 250,000 searches for ice dam removal. All come from Boston. 100 inches of snow. It was disaster. It was horrible. So I come to my guys and I'm like, guys, who wants to travel to Boston with me? So 3 guys said they'll go because we didn't have work. When I left, I think I have $350 in my account. I drove 20 hours straight. If you ever drive with me, you don't get to drive. I'm driving. 18 hours. I drove 18 hours. I slept for the last 2 hours. Like, you know, I was dying. We got there straight to the first job. First job, I was cheap. I just need something, right? I sold first job $250 an hour for 2-man crew. We made I think $1,500 first day, Saturday. Then wake up next day, raise my price. Wake up next day, raise my price. So I was charging at the end in the last 5 days. I was charging $550 an hour for 2-man crew, Monday through Friday, 8 to 6. After 6, it was $100 more per hour. So if you want us at 7 o'clock. Or it's like 7 to 9, 7 to 10, I would charge you $650 or $750. People did not care. Icicles are huge, coming in, they couldn't get anybody. We have steamers, like right away, like while I'm there freaking in hotel, every single lead I got, it was Craigslist, it was my website, it was YouTube. I literally go, and then I did the press release that this hero company from Minnesota comes to rescue Boston guys. And then I tweet and I follow every news company in town. Boston Globe replied to me, said, yeah, like I said, hey guys, do you want to do the story? We have some cool stuff here. So they came out, and I have drone back in the day already. It was like 4 years ago, I think. And so she came out, she did the story. They did 1-minute clip on Boston Globe. And then when they did the clip, I said, do you want to use my drone footage? So I flew the drone, she did that. It was all inclusive, it was really cool. And then they called again. It's like, hey, we want to feature your company in Boston Globe, would you be willing to do? So they sent this reporter. She spent 2 days. She really, really want to get in our room. Like really, she's like, I want to see where you guys sleep. I was like, no, 4 guys in one room, like drying clothes. Like after like being sweaty all day, it's not good. Like you honestly will be blown away from the steam if you open that door. I'm like, no, you're not coming to our room. We'll meet somewhere. I mean, but here's the deal. I treat my guys really well. We did $35,000 in the first trip. Yeah, there was a second trip too. So 7 days first trip. My guys was like, Dimitri, you're crazy. Nobody can keep up with you. Freaking, we're going home. We can't do it anymore. But I paid them like a couple $1,000s per week. I paid all my bills. I get shop and everything, right? So we drove back, and then Boston Globe on the first page story comes up. And I'm like, shit. And oh, by the way, and before I left, I sold both of my machines for $4,200. So you count money, right? So you come in with $350 and you walk away with like already like 45. And then we still keep getting calls. And at that time, everybody in Minnesota like, Dimitri, how did you do it? Blah, blah. We want to go with you. Why you didn't take us? This and that. So, and I come back I think it was like Friday, and everybody keep asking. Boston Globe just came out, and I don't even have the paper. I'm like, I need to get at least the paper where I'm on the first page. I have to drive there, right? So then I called my buddy Alex, and I'm like, Alex, do you want to go back? Sure. So we went back for 3 days, did another 15 grand. At this point, I only charge $6.50 an hour, just two of us, quick and easy, 15 grand. I mean, he got like 3-4 out of it. I paid for another machine. Good stuff. The point is, when you know marketing, you can be freaking brand new, you can be desperate, you don't need somebody to sell you leads. It's easy. What I teach you guys is easy. You just have to crank it up, be a little bit crazy, and freaking go all in. Go back one more time. But here's the point. Outbound always tries to take credit for demand. Remember that phrase? I want you to remember it. A couple months ago, I was talking to a Facebook guru. Like, the guy charges money to do Facebook ads for people. I said, what was the best campaign of all time? So, what was the best? Guess what he told me? It's like, oh, yeah. A couple of years ago was a lot of snow in Boston, and we did this video about ice dam stuff, and it was good. It went good. Like, he was taking credit, right? And I'm like, oh, really? I don't even know if I have Facebook page. I probably have. But the point is, if you run Google pay-per-click, it's going to cost you a lot of money. If you do Facebook ads, it costs you a lot of money. But your marketers will always try to take credit for it. Where in reality, you can do it freaking yourself on the free stuff, on the free platform, or a platform that costs you little to nothing, right? But that's all what marketers do. Oh, storm hits, freaking, I'm gonna just sell him 100 leads. Guess what? You freaking can generate 100 leads. Let's go to next. So inbound leads are the best leads in the universe. Who would agree with that? When people call you, this is the best. Nothing beats it, because like, you will answer the phone professionally. Thanks for calling Stormer. How can I help you? That gives you confidence you're doing something right. This is demand. This is freaking the best feeling. Let's go to next. Inbound leads controlled by brand, outbound leads controlled by demand. This is very powerful. This is the reason I've never even went after door knocking. I have a very smart person come to my office and do audit for me. So they come in, they open your books, and they pretty much tell you where your numbers are. Are you paying your people too much? How much you paying per leads? All your numbers. And they tell you where you're good at, where you're bad at. And here's what he told me. He said, Misha, I travel around the country, and I see books of storm chasers. I see books of $30, $40, $50 million companies. And he told me this: stay where you are at. Don't even think about going after canvassing. Because everybody who does it, they suck, they broke. What's outside, it's not what's inside. Like the future, and that came from him, not from here. What you have here is freaking awesome. My company, last year, we did 1,660 something appointments. He's like, what you have here, like I have to work on my closing rates. I have to improve my stuff, what I do. But he's like, stay where you are. Here's the deal. The reason I've never been there, because inbound leads controlled by brand. I control what I have. I can turn it up, turn it down. But outbound marketing controlled by demand. I don't want to live my life thinking when Boston gonna hit with the snow again. Or I don't want to live from storm to storm to come talk to my wife, hey, Colorado got hit again. I guess I'm packing. That's not life for me. My life for me is something that I can control. Now, nothing against door knockers, nothing against storm chasers. If I would do it though, I would go open location and I would control that location with the inbound marketing. I would have people coming to me there. Why? Because, question for you is, do you want your future to be controlled by your brand or by demand? Do you want a storm to control your life, or do you want your brand to control your life? If you want your brand to control your life, you have to invest in your brand. I have a lot of subs who work for me, who made more money than I did in the last couple of years of me being in business. Why? Because I'm freaking disciplined. I would make $60,000, $70,000 a year, and I would put $40,000, $50,000 back in my business. I would wrap my vehicles. I would, like, honestly, I would spend $3,000-4,000 on company shirts before I take my family on vacation. It's a sacrifice. But right now, you ask anybody around me, I don't work more than 10 hours for my business. 5 to 10 hours per week. I'm there for 2-3 meetings. That's it. I'm troubleshooting. It took 3-4 years of hard work, but just like in university, they say, you work for your grades first, and then your grades work for you. You work for your brand first, and then your brand will work for you. Do you want your future to be controlled by your brand or by demand? That's what I see with a lot of storm chasers. They get in, they'll do 25 million one year. They do 7 million next year, and they do go out of business the third year. Happens all the time. If you become a company over one storm, capitalize, monetize, reinvest, and try to repeat it and grow from that point forward. You got lucky if you did. I work with one client right now, really good guy, $1.3 million in 2 months, never done roofing before. And my advice to him was like, freaking don't go crazy. You know, this storm gave you, or hurricane, gave you this company. Like, you can spend it all and not have anything, or you can monetize it and grow your brand from this point forward. Because demand will go down, and next year you're not going to have a storm, but you can still have a company. Demand always goes for brand. So when you need something, ask yourself, how do you buy a car? So when you're in the market to buy a car, you know what you want. You want a Honda, you want a Mercedes-Benz. You already know. You already know, like, your brand, right? Like, the brands people like brands. I like freaking my Apple Watch. I like Apple products. You might like Windows, wherever it is. So ask yourself, how did you get to this point? Just a couple days ago, I bought a Hoover for my kids. I mean, when I was searching for Hoovers, like, there's so many of them, right? So what I was doing, I'm like, who makes the best Hoover? So I went to YouTube and watched the videos, tutorials. Now I know that this Hoover, this is what I want for my kids. So demand will always go to brands. Like, consumers always will go somewhere they trust, you know, with their buying choices. And that's this kind of the second part where I want to challenge you today. Let's go to next. So I want you to think about what customers think, what versus what business owners think. Customers are always seeking brands, and business owners always seeking demand. And here's how it works. Business owners pretty much in the boardrooms, they're like, what people want to buy from us, like what kind of shingles, what kind of product. That's, as a matter of fact, number one problem in our industry. We want to offer too many services. Somebody call you, hey, can you install my gutter? Yeah, I can install your gutter. Boom, you go on a gutter job. Or can you do my drywall? Yes, I can do your drywall. You go on a drywall job. I believe it comes from being unsecure, because we want to make sure tomorrow we have jobs. So we start our business and we're just going to be a jack of all trades. Biggest mistake you can make, by the way. The more services you offer, the faster you're going to go down. Why? Because when you narrow down your services, you can be more profitable, you can control it better, and you can scale. I'd rather do one trade than 10 trades. Like now, in our industry, some trades complement each other. Like, for example, if you have a good gutter guy and you can offer them that, like what I do, like in Minneapolis, I have to have siding on gutters or attic insulation, but I only do services that complement my business, right? So here's the deal. You have to ask yourself what customers are looking for, and you cannot confuse them. Let's go to next. I'll explain. Name of my company is Storm Group Roofing, but I also like siding. So I have these trailers. They wrap every single trailer, every single truck that I have roofing and siding on it. You know how many times at the end of the job, I would come to the homeowner and I would say, hey, we did your roof for you, but you also need the siding. Can we do your siding? And the question would be like, oh, I didn't know you do siding. And I literally would look at my car like, really, like this trailer would be here for a week. It had like siding on it, right? So this is what's happening. When you offer too many services and it's not your main niche, it's almost like people are going to ignore it, or you're going to spread yourself too thin. So now is the best time, like, to understand where customers are and serve them what they want. If I would give you 2 tips today to take out of everything, that would be this. Do more repairs. So how can you create a better brand today? Do more repairs. Almost in every market, I guarantee you, demand for repairs is greater than replacement. Why? Because customers want to freaking fix their roofs before they want to replace them. That's what I would do. We want to fix our cars before buying the new ones, right? That's the reason that I clean my car every Saturday, because when my car gets dirty, I don't enjoy it anymore. I'm like, I'm gonna go see the dealer and get a new one. Now you clean it and it's brand spanking new. It's like, oh, there's a nice car. I'll drive it for a little bit longer, maybe for another year. So the thing is, when something breaks, unless it's like breaks freaking every day, like something breaks every once in a while, you want to fix it. And I get it that you want full jobs. I want full jobs too. But customers want repairs. If you brand yourself as a repair company, almost in any market, you will freaking dominate it. Why? Because when everybody goes this way and one fish going this way, like that fish has way better opportunities for food. Everybody goes this way. So this is how my brain thinks. If everybody wants freaking full jobs, I'm gonna be a repair guy. And this is my last one. Narrow down your niche. Right now, if you narrow down what you do, like maybe metal, maybe rubber, wherever it is, you can find one product. One of the most successful subs that I know, they do metal. They don't touch anything else. This is genius. Because I know the sub, he just does metals for everybody freaking in town. Because he decided to narrow down his niche to metal. You can do rubber, once you narrow down your niche, everybody will know that you're expert in that niche. It can be solar, it can be rubber, it can be wherever it is. Now is the time. If you can do less, you will do more eventually. But start associating with something small. Thanks guys for your time. Good.